All right, folks, I'm joined by the one and only, the incomparable, a good friend of mine, the legendary Xavier Woods. How you doing today, man?
Ooh. I feel good.
I could tell. I could tell.
How are you doing, man?
I'm chilling, always the usual. Quarantine life, as I'm sure you're very aware of and what you do. But it's been an interesting year for esports. I mean, even the Esports Awards had to go, fully virtual last year, which was crazy. Which you won an award, which was awesome. How was that experience?
It's incredible. Being a part of this gaming community the past like 6-7 years, like actually trying to put my face in it and let people know, like, hey, I don't just wrestle. Hey, it's been a crazy experience because I've always got that, like, I don't know if it's ever going to go away. This like deep, and we've talked about this deep-seated insecurity within me because I've loved games my entire life. It's always been my safe place, my happy place. It's how I learned how to make friends. It's how I learned how to be social. And so I feel like there's like the stereotype of, oh, wrestlers like just meatheads who punch each other in the face. And it's like, no, like a bunch of us like went to school, or some people own businesses, XYZ. There's a lot of intellectuals in the industry. And so for me, I wanted to try to put that effort towards gaming. So I've always kind of been weird about people who don't know wrestling and are more in games, and they see me and they just, their first thought, I don't want it to be like, oh, this meathead's just coming in because there's money in the gaming industry. Like, no, dude, like this is my passion, what I'm passionate about. So to go from feeling that 100% of the time to like 10% of the time, and then to get an award like this, like it blew my mind because it solidified that I'm making like the right moves and I'm pushing myself in the right direction for what I can really, really dig into once I'm done getting beat up for a living.
Yeah. It's actually interesting. And I'm glad that we're doing this together, because what was the initial idea behind Up Up Down Down?
So the initial idea was, you see these shows on the Travel Channel where people are going to different countries and eating foods, and like, oh, if you go to, Brazil, go here. Like, my thought was at the time, pre-quarantine, pre-COVID, we would be in a different town every night in a different place. Like, we'd be in the States, we'd be in the UK, we'd be in Australia, but no matter what, 9 times out of 10, I could find an arcade bar. And so video games, regardless of what language you speak, everybody understands like getting your like butt handed to you in Street Fighter.
Oh yeah.
So I know, like, being in South America, there's all these games around. I remember specifically as an arcade, the only people that were like hounded around a machine was the Street Fighter 5 machine. And I was like, I'm not great, but let me jump in and see if I can catch a win. And it's dudes just like speaking, but there were like 3 different languages being spoken, trying to understand each other, but we're all played Street Fighter for like 2 or 3 hours. And it's like, that's what's really cool to me. So I wanted to show where you could follow me around and be like, hey, if you're in Milwaukee, go here. If you're in London, go here. These are the awesome places. They got these foods, these drinks, and then here's the games. And so I went to WWE, pitched this crazy idea. I was so passionate about it. And they're like, nah.
Like, so the original idea was pitched to WWE. Like, yes, they want, you gave it to them out of the gate.
Yes, that's exactly what I wanted to do. And that's what I still want to do, actually.
Yeah.
And so they said no to that. But then there was somebody on the office side of things who wanted to create a YouTube channel with one of the talent. And so we kind of caught wind of each other and we mashed the ideas together. And he said, well, what do you think about this? It's like, oh, I don't have any experience playing video games and talking. And we tried it a little bit. And I was like, this is so difficult. Like, I'm going to like run a full interview. And I can't even play video games while talking. Now I'm going to try to get someone else to do it in like an hour-long interview. And he's like, yeah, let's just see how it goes. And so we shot the pilot episodes with me and Kofi. We shot like 4 or 5 of them and put those out, added some punishments. And I was like, okay, cool. People started watching, got into it. But then as we pulled other guys and girls onto the channel, there's just this something about video games that just makes you automatically ultra competitive. And so that's kind of what our guys and girls are all about. It's conflict resolution between good and evil, all this stuff. And so we just kind of poured that over to video games because it was funny to us. And then it blossomed into creating the Up Up Down Down title. We got the left right title as well. We've got BRE start. So like, we're trying to do the whole Konami code at some point, it's a place where everybody can feel comfortable. And I want people to see the diversity that we have on the channel. Men, women, black, white, different religions, everything, but it's all based around this common language of video games and how strong the bond of friendship can be just by playing them. Because I used to work at a daycare, and I was a big video game head then, obviously, too. And some of the parents would be like, why do you play that stuff? You're in college, you're gonna like rot your brain. I was like, no, like, actually, video games are the reason that I feel like I'm successful. And I want to create something that shows parents of now, like, no, please let your kids play video games. Please push them
Yeah.
and encourage them to play video games, because even if they're not very social, they're asocial kids and they keep to themselves, like, get them in a video game, get them in some online games, depending on the game and the community.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah.
They'll find some like-minded people, and that's your crew. And that's really what the channel has evolved into, and what I've kind of put my passion behind is just making sure that people understand that video games are essentially here to help.
Yeah, dude. Well, I mean, that's why I think that is a perfect reason as to why individual like yourself and Up Down Down managed to win the Esports Award, excuse me, for content creator. Because now that you guys are obviously in quarantine and stuff, and you're doing the show from the Thunderdome, and it's been different. How has it changed a little bit? Because I know Up Down Down has kind of morphed a bit more around like being more online. Do you feel like that's been easier to do, more challenging to do? How's that been?
When we're traveling, I have so right now I'm at my battle station, my triple monitors, my Elgato lights, my sweet computer. I've got all this fancy cameras and mics and stuff. And so, like, I have the super condensed version of this that I carry around literally for 5 years, up until I tore my Achilles and wasn't traveling. I just carried my full studio in my backpack with like a PlayStation and all the games and controllers and stuff. And so I would, dudes with rifles, they just have to take them apart and put them back together real quick. So I had to sit at home and try to set up and tear down as fast as I could, because sometimes there's not a room for me to use backstage. And so it might be like, hey, here's a hallway, and put up like a curtain on the wall, and let's get this Tekken match real quick. And then I got to tear down because I got to get out of the way, because I don't want somebody from the office to come through and see me just like taking up all this space and I get in trouble. And so that's kind of how it started. This is a weird way to say it, but it kind of was like an underground thing, because video games weren't necessarily as big of a thing in the locker room, and it was kind of like not a hush hush thing, but try to stay away from the big boss, just in case I don't want to get in trouble type of thing. But now it's completely different now. Like, it's almost like the culture has changed, because now everybody is seeing, yes, these video games are fun, they're exciting, but it's not like the talent is wasting time playing them, because talent playing games puts them in a position where they're more comfortable. So when I go, hey, we're doing a Pokemon Stadium tournament, you guys down? And they go, yep. And now we've got 8 people who are already well versed in playing these games. And now we can put it up on the channel, and now our sales team can try to get sponsorships. So like, there's a whole flow to all of this to try to make people see the importance of video games, whether that's they enjoy playing them or they don't want to play them and they just want to see the dollar signs. It's like, okay, well, look, there's dollar signs involved, but like, let's let us play these games.
It's like you do your thing, I'm gonna do my thing, but go ahead, sell whatever you want to do, but I just want to sit here and play video games, and that is a great feeling. It's good to know though that like that culture as well in the locker room, because wrestling has evolved a lot over the years, right? And you got the rough and tumbled strong guys who come in here, the leaders of the locker room. You always hear the stories about backstage leaders and stuff like that. And I'm sure like it would be looked or frowned upon to like sit there and just hunch over and just play games for like an hour and a half or so. But sometimes you're just chilling, right? So like it's just nice to be able to just kick back, relax, and play some games with your friend and make content at the same time, which is always huge.
Totally. And I think that everybody across the board really understands that, because like the previous generation, like they would play cards a lot, so this is just like our version of cards. So I think that that it's cool to see the evolution of that. And when we actually like get the chance to talk to like old school guys, like one-on-one, things like that, it's nice to hear that they if they're like on the same wavelength as us,
got to bring it up, right? We got WrestleMania right around the corner. So it's going to be wild. I have no idea what to expect this year, because Bobby Lashley's champion, Roman's doing his thing. But important for you as well. Like what's it like, because I had the opportunity to go to 2 WrestleManias, the one at Levi Stadium, and actually,
you were in the room when I had my meltdown for that live stream.
Oh wait, no. That was MetLife.
Rumble? MetLife.
MetLife. I was there. I saw you for a little bit. We were chatting, and you were like, you guys were trying to figure out like all this tech stuff, and Brian pulled me in and stuff. But I was also there when I was there when Kofi won. So I did see
Yeah.
I did see everything of you. So that was but how has that been? Because I do want to ask you specifically about that particular
Mhm.
WrestleMania, because I remember we did the show immediately after Esports Showdown. Kofi was there with the title. It was sick. Like, everyone was like chatting with him. And I think you wrestled in the pre-show or in the beginning of the first match. I don't remember if you were.
At that Mania where Kofi won?
Yeah.
No, I didn't do anything
So
wrestler-wise.
you were just there you
Yeah.
were there for him.
Yeah.
Were you nervous? Because I
Yeah.
would have been nervous, man.
Hell yeah, I was.
How
And
was the
so
experience?
it was incredible because it's been how to explain this without sounding like a weirdo. Being able to go into a crowd,
Yeah.
like buy a ticket, sit in an audience and watch wrestling is something that when you become a wrestler, you no longer get the chance to do. You can't just walk in and sit in like the nosebleed seats and lose your mind at a match, and that eats at me on the inside because there's so many good memories that I have of just sitting and watching like WWE, WCW. I got to go to an ECW show when I was younger, and then just going to like independent shows and just being able to like enjoy wrestling, regardless if it's bad or good, just
Just
respecting the
enjoy
people,
it. Yeah.
who are in there busting their ass to get it done.
Yeah.
And so it's legit like one of my favorite things, being in a live audience, watching and being entertained. And so in that moment of Kofi facing Bryan at WrestleMania, um, knowing that we were going to get the chance to be outside, outside of the ring. First off, I didn't know if we'd get that chance anyway, but we found out on the day. Cool, perfect. So that means we have a literal front row seat to what's going down. And I think it's fine to talk about. We all are grown. We understand wrestling is what
Yeah.
wrestling is. And so I got asked a million different times in like interviews, like, "Oh, so like, did you know?" I said, "No." I said, I told him not to tell me
You didn't
because
know.
no, because
Oh.
so many times in the match, especially a big match like that, someone can
Yeah.
just like have a different thought like halfway through, or someone can get some information like near the end, like whatever, but then like the things change
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
mid-match.
Yeah.
And so I didn't want to go out like knowing, oh, this is going down, and then something happened, and then I'm in a different mindset. But then that allows me to just have that moment like one more time of being a fan and just watching. And so like that actual moment, like I'm about to get like choked up talking about it. Like that's like my best friend, dude. And he
Yeah.
got to live out his childhood dream. And I got the opportunity to help prop him up to get there in like
Yeah.
this 3-month cool storyline. So like that's the coolest thing that I've ever gotten the chance to be a part of in wrestling. And
Yeah.
and I think that the fact that so many people were touched by it, in countries all around the world, like
Was insane.
yeah, that to me is what it means when someone says wrestling is real. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah, I've WrestleMania, the one you guys hosted, I believe, was WrestleMania 33. I want to say, you guys wore the Dragon Ball outfits,
No, so the
right?
one that we hosted, we wore so new characters were coming out in a Final Fantasy 14 expansion, Stormblood. And so we got to dress as those, which blew my mind because Final Fantasy 14 is I don't know if I'm speaking out of turn from just real feeling good right now.
Go
That might
for
be
it.
that might be the best game ever. Final
Okay,
Fantasy 14 might be the best game ever.
okay, you're not. That's actually not like a bad take, though. I know a lot of people that will very much enjoy what you just said. We'll clip it and we'll send it to all the gaming outlets, and then we'll just let them resonate with it. Yeah. So you guys did the 14 gear, and then you also did. But I know you did Dragon Ball as well,
Yeah, I
right?
think that
Yeah.
was the year before. It was when we came out of the Bootios box, and
Yes.
I
Yes.
got
Yes.
stunned
Yes.
by Stone Cold for trying to make him twerk. Didn't work out too well for me. But yeah, it's dope because there were some Team 4-Star dudes in the crowd,
Yeah.
and I don't know if somebody like said something or like made the connection, but as soon as we came out and we posed, it cut to them holding their like Dragon Ball sign, and it was like, what? This is
That's so
like it's
cool.
so serendipitous. But again, that's something that we knew would resonate with people that are like us,
Yeah.
So getting to go out and do that. And then the next day, seeing it all over the internet on like all these news sites that don't even cover wrestling, but people jumping in and saying, "Man, I need to get back into wrestling because of these guys." Like they're straight up nerds, and they're
Yeah.
actually like talented, like 10-time tag team champs. Or what? It's not just like some
And time.
random nerds getting beat up all the time.
And time.
And so again, that's something, that type of energy is what I want to bring into the gaming space, because
Yeah.
I feel like that type of like charismatic, just like no holds barred, over the top like promos and stuff. Like, it just enhances it so much for me.
One of the parts of esports, and we've talked about this before, right, was getting the personalities to really shine, and that's something that WWE has done in spades for years and years. I mean, it's literally the entire business, right?
Yeah.
It's creating personalities and larger than life figures, and it feels like esports is definitely getting to that point little by little, but it's certainly taking some time because it comes down to people like kind of breaking out of their shell. So I guess for that reason, and then we'll wrap up with some other fun questions here. But what would be your advice to professional players, whether they be Valorant or Overwatch, Call of Duty players, FGC, right, Street Fighter, MK, whomever, in regards to them crafting their personality from an individual who is the king at making exciting, characters come to life?
It's watching a lot of stand-up comedy and a lot of improv comedy. Lots of shows like The Office that kind of feel like
Oh, I
that,
love
like
it.
that just
Yeah.
like feel witty. That and like workaholic stuff. That's just funny, like conversational comedy, because that's what promos are. Like, yeah, you can do it by yourself. Like, I can look at the camera and we can just record this. Like, Golden Boy, I'm coming for you this Sunday. There's no chance you're beating me. My Sub-Zero is gonna
Bring it
freeze
on,
you
brother.
up. Yeah, like we could do that if we wanted to, but
Yeah.
like it works so much better to just do it in a conversational standpoint. So like
Yeah.
setting it up, like you set up the date. Hey, when are we playing? And then you come back. Oh, we're playing on Sunday, and like we banter in the way that we're talking now.
Yeah.
But we just hit record before we do it. So I feel like getting your personality, it's gonna work easiest to just be yourself, turned up to 11. When you try to be something completely off the mark, some people can do that. Some people are very method. I got to put on like face paint before I even play because this is my character. Like, if that's what you got to do, cool. But for me, just being myself, but a little extra, or actually a lot of extra, because normally I'm very just toned down and chill and relax. But then when the camera's
Yeah.
on, voice gets a little bit higher, a little more excited.
Turned up to 11.
Yeah. I think that's the biggest thing. And I'll just give like promo rule. Promo rule number 1. Do not downplay your opponent, because when you beat them, then you've beaten no one. And if they beat you, then you've gotten beaten by a no one, which drops you way lower than everybody
Oof.
else.
Nice.
So you always prop them up. Always talk about their accolades, how good they are, how talented they are. If you can research their stats, always talk about how great they are. And all you got to do, you can rant about them for 2 minutes about how good they are. And then you end it with, and that's why I'm so excited to beat the hell out of you, because then that puts me right up in the stars, like. So just figuring out those kinds of ways to have fun with it, because a lot of people take that as like, oh, you're gonna talk and like get people excited. Well, I'm just gonna go super disrespectful and throw a whole bunch of curse words in there. And it's like, no. You got to expand your mind. You got to open up a thesaurus, use some fun words, some big words, and get people thinking. Throw in some like Greek mythology if you want to. Like, I'm gonna rain down on you like Ares from up above. Like, like there's people that resonate with that, and then people that don't. They go, this dude is crazy, but they're talking about you, in a good way, and they want to see more. And so anything that you can do to show people who you really are, which is very scary, because it puts you in a vulnerable position. The more you put yourself out there as who you really are, turned up a little bit, I feel like that is how you find your character, because you find what's comfortable, and then things just kind of evolve from there.
So then, that said, how do you rate the Steiner Math promo then?
Oh, incredible.
It was a legendary promo though, man.
Best of all time.
We're still talking about it to this day. Okay, then last thing is, in this continuous merger between your passion for gaming and of course pro wrestling, one of the more memorable things, I mean, you've had a lot, by the way, but one that I really enjoyed was when New Day took on the Elite. And that was actually, I mean, having met, I don't know Biggie too well, but knowing you well, and Kofi, and then knowing those guys and how big nerds they are. How was that? How did that all come about, if you don't mind getting into it? Yeah. And 2, how did you feel after the fact?
So that I hold as one of my greatest accomplishments. because there's so many things that I want to do with
So
with
10
people.
10-time tag team champion, but that is
Well,
that
so there's the difference. The 10-time tag team champions, that's in the dream realm. This is what I wanted for all my life, and then I've got different dreams over here that are
Oh,
like,
I love it. I'm all about it, dude. I think
Like-
it just speaks volumes to like you've achieved so much, and that is something you've also been incredibly proud of. It's really cool.
yeah. Well, it's because like there's no universe where that should have occurred. You know, like there's no timeline. Like we're supposed to be separated and never talk, and we're not friends. And ooh, I don't like you. Get out of here, dude.
Yeah.
Like we're all artists that produce the same craft, and so there's something there where we're all bonded, regardless of what country you're in. If you're taking bumps, like we're in the fraternity, you know.
Yeah.
And so for me, when I found out that Kenny was a big video game head, this was years back. I think maybe like, I don't know, 2015, 2016,
Wow.
if not
Yeah.
earlier. And we'd never met, but I know obviously playing games, run and being wrestled, running the same circles. I just shot him a DM. I was like, I slid in the DMs. Hey, what's up, man? I know you're into games and stuff. I am too. Just think it's really cool that like there's people who also have similar interests to what I like. So we chatted and then ended up meeting up at an arcade bar. And it was funny because he didn't know what they were at the time. And so he got there first and I came
Because he
in,
was
he
in
goes,
Japan for
Yeah.
like forever, you know?
that's just regular for him.
Yeah.
And so I come in, he's like, what, they have these? This is incredible. And so we filmed a bunch of videos playing video games against each other in hopes that one day we could do some sort of competition.
Yeah.
And so once we did some things on our own, playing Street Fighter at CEO and stuff like that with Jabali, it got to the point where I was like, man, it'd be really dope if we could do something together at E3. And he is like, you think that's actually possible? And I was like, no, but I'm going to try. And I remember talking to the Bucks, and it's like, yeah, if you guys are cool playing Street Fighter, I think we can just like get you some money if you come through. They're like, okay, perfect, this is great. So all the stars kind of aligned, and Capcom being the amazing sponsor that they were, they saw what we were doing, and they were down to let us kind of run with it. So even to the point of, okay, cool, you know, we got it set, we're all good. And then I send them an email. It's like, hey, can we pump the brakes and not announce it yet? And they're like, well why? And then my head was like, because that's what just like it would be in esports. We just announce it, right?
Yeah.
It's like, but this is the mix of esports and wrestling, so we have to do a contract signing. They're like, what? So I wrote out like a 4-week thing of how we would drop content and what we would do. Gave it to them. They're like, if you want to, but like, can you do all this? I was like, yep, I'll do it all. And then I'll just send you guys the stuff. If you want to change stuff, cool. But like, this is my vision. They were so down with it, which I love. And so Kenny and I did the contract signing. Then I announced that New Day's coming, and it's like, oh no, who's Kenny gonna bring? And so then eventually you get the Bucks announced, like right before we go. And my example was, when you have a title match that's gonna be at WrestleMania, you say that there's a title match like a month or two in advance. And then the show before, which we call the go home show, the show before the event, you go, and it's in a steel cage. And everybody loses their mind. So that's the vibe that I wanted to create. And we got that. And it got to the point where at the event, it almost got shut down at E3 because there were too many people in that area blocking the walkways and all that stuff. Like, it was wild.
I worked that show. Thank you.
No problem. No problem. It was a mess for people. And we're throwing pancakes. And so people are squishing pancakes in the carpet that's like supposed to get like, it's like rental carpet or something. So people are getting mad at us. But to that point, like, it's still one of the coolest things that I've gotten to do, because I got the chance to break a barrier that, for all intents and purposes, was never supposed to be broken. And that to me is the bigger accomplishment. Like, playing video games with friends, it's awesome, but getting to do this on a public stage with all the cameras and all the eyes and everything is good. All the I's are dotted and all the T's are crossed and everybody's cool with this. Like, that to me, like, that might be one of the biggest accomplishments.
And it was like, two of the hottest acts in pro wrestling. Like, I mean, you guys still are, but it's insane, right? Because, you know, and it was always like a thing. Like, you'd always see it in the comments on Twitter and stuff. It'd always be like, oh, dude, it'd be so sick if Woods played Kenny and you know, such and such. And you guys even did that. I mean, you went up against each other at CEO, I recall. And that was
he hurt me.
Equally.
He hurt me. He's much better at Street Fighter than I am. But
I was going to say, because Tekken's your game. It's not Street Fighter. So, you know, you had to catch him in like neutral territory. Should have been MK. Should have been MK.
It should. But my Kano is gross, though.
Oh, it's fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah. Kenny's like a diehard Street Fighter fan, so I get it.
We played DDR, though.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I beat him, yeah.
You did?
I I mean, he's good. He's good. He's good. He's not
Yeah.
me, but he's good. He's good.
Yeah. Oh my God, dude. And then Windjammer's next, maybe.
Oh, again, that'd be unfair because
It'd
like
be unfair.
I
Makes sense.
say I'm like more of a marathon gamer.
Mhm.
You know, I might not be like a master at a game. Actually, I am. Double Dash, Mario Kart Double Dash.
Oh yeah,
But
you talk about that often. As
yeah,
a matter of fact.
that's my jam. But as far as like a plethora of games, I've got like a pretty good knowledge. It's like a kind of across the board of a basic understanding of things. And so that leads me to with up, up, down, down, talking about the esports aspect of it. So with our title, for those of you who don't know, whenever the title is defended, I pick a random game and the two people play it because the point of our championship is not how good you are at one specific game, but it's how high is your video game IQ.
Yeah.
How fast can you understand the game? How fast can you adapt to what your opponent's understanding of the game is? And that to me, that is a more insane version of esports because we don't even watching. I don't understand Nintendo like track and field the way that you might. But if it comes up and you're like, oh my God, I used to play this all the time. Now you get credit because you're a gamer for real. So
Yeah.
you've already got a little bit. And then you've got credit because you play games all the time. So your video game IQ is going to be higher than somebody else's. And that's what we're really testing. And that's why I think that it makes sense that we are classified as an esports channel because that's literally we are the grimiest of esports because we don't have a specific game that we play. We play everything.
Yeah. So I get it. You got to be good on the fly. You got to know what you're doing on the fly. Well, you know what? Speaking of on the fly, we actually do have a cool little thing here that they planned. 20 quickfire questions. Now, I'm going to let you know. Okay, you got to go fast. And number one. Number two, the final question, just so you are aware, could determine the fate of our friendship. Okay, so it's hefty. It's hefty. All right. Here we go.
I'm gonna say the same thing for whenever I do these. I have one answer already in my head.
What?
I don't know. It's gonna.
Oh, you know. Okay.
No. Like, as soon as you start asking it, a word's gonna pop in my head and it's just gonna come out.
Okay. Here we go. Batman or Superman?
Superman.
Good call. Pancakes or waffles?
Waffles.
Okay, fair. Film or TV?
TV.
I know the answer to this one, but I'm going to do it anyway. Tekken Street Fighter.
Tekken.
Tea or coffee?
Neither.
Oh, okay. This is a huge one, by the way. I don't know if you're going to recover from this. Kofi or Big E?
No, I'm not doing that. I refuse.
He just refuses. Okay, all right. Ice cream or pizza?
Oh, pizza.
Okay, all right. Would you rather be too hot or too cold?
Too hot.
Okay. If you could travel in time, would you go backwards or forwards?
Forward. Time travel in the past is not for us.
No, not at all.
No. I'll go back like 2 weeks, maybe.
Yeah. Maybe I'll check out see if I fixed something from like a month ago. But beyond that, no.
As far as that goes. You missed, but no, we're not going before the 90s. I'm okay.
Yeah, hit before GME went up, and then I'll do that.
Actually,
all right.
I might go back to a skating rink for like a night and then come back.
Okay, that's fair. That sounds nice. Me bowling alley. So yeah, I guess we're on the same boat. All right, Tupac or Biggie?
Biggie.
Okay. All right, another big one. DX or NWO?
DX.
Okay. Xbox or PlayStation?
I thought you said X-Pac, so PlayStation.
No, not X-Pac.
I was like, X-Pac, yeah. That's why I picked DX.
Oh, okay. PC or console?
PC.
Okay. You're also pretty good at Valorant, man. Just saying.
Oh, I wish.
X-ray vision or super strength?
Super strength.
All right. Would you rather be an Olympic gold medalist or a Nobel Peace Prize winner?
Nobel Peace Prize.
All right. FPS or MOBA?
FPS.
All right. Apple or Android?
Apple.
Bath or shower?
Shower.
Okay. Lord of the Rings or Star Wars? Which is the better trilogy?
Oh, Star Wars.
And if you had to pick just either one, Lord of the Rings or Star Wars?
Star Wars still.
Star Wars still.
Yeah.
And the final question. Pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
Good Lord, no.
Yes!
No.
We are friends.
That's the final? That's easy.
Oh, dude, you don't understand. I told my wife when they gave me this question, I was like, I'm moving this one to the last because this is it. As a New Yorker, this is like, I can't allow this to be a thing, So, oh man. Anyway,
can I ask you one?
Go for it.
When you put your socks and shoes on, do you go sock, shoe, or sock, shoe?
Sock, shoe. I'm not some savage.
Thank you. Just making sure.
Who does sock, shoe?
I know people who should be institutionalized or something.
Shame them now. I am shame. That is awful. That is horrendous. I can't believe it. I mean, we could probably do this like all day though, to be fair. We could just do different things and just pick it. You know what? One more, Mario or Luigi.
Oh, Luigi.
Oh, yo, Luigi, that's what's up.
Hey, dude,
Okay.
think about it. Think about it. This guy never gets any shine. Whenever Mario gets messed up, who comes to save him? Luigi does.
This is true.
Who is always nowhere to be found when Bowser's kidnapping the princess? Mario. What is he doing? What are you doing, dude?
He's slacking. He's slacking. It's terrible. You know, it really is. And it's just someone, you know, and Luigi, I feel like is that friend behind the scenes just trying to make things work, you know, trying to keep them to, you know, there's just a whole lore. There's a lot of lore.
Also, sorry, I'll make this one quick. So all stories are built on the secondary characters, right?
Yeah.
So take Dragon Ball Z, for instance. Goku never turns Super Saiyan unless Krillin dies.
Oof.
If Krillin, his motivation is not there, the world is not saved. So who's the actual hero? The secondary characters, because that is who's able to prop up the hero so that that hero can shine. Like an anime, Kuroko no Basket.
Oh, dude, no
basketball.
way. Go for it.
He tells his friend, "You are the light. I am the shadow. The brighter you shine, the bigger I am." What?
There it is, baby. There it is,
dude.
Yes.
Story
a Kuroko reference. So good. Hold on. Wait a minute. Pick this one up in Japan. Wait. Go for it, Woods. Go for it. Oh my, he's busting it out. He's taking out the goods. He's got the goods. Here we go.
Kuroko. But similar, this is all I could find.
It's all good. We can just be weebs together. Right, man. Woods, I have nothing but love and respect for you, my dude. Always a pleasure to chat with you. Congratulations on winning the Esports Award for Content Creator of the Year. Couldn't think of a person who deserves it more, and also all the success that is to come. What's next? What do you got coming up next?
So I want to make sure everybody understands Up, Down, Down, constantly bringing out new episodes with so many different variations of things. Our biggest show is Uno on Wednesdays. It is hysterical. I know it sounds ridiculous. Just 4 dudes.
Oh no, I know about it. About it.
God, it's so good. And
amazing.
With that, we've got uuddshop.com. It's our shop. We got a bunch of sweet merch on there, so go check it out. G4. Obviously, that stuff's coming through. It's been fantastic. You said you filmed some stuff. They're getting a bunch of creators from around to feel some things out and get content out there. And I'm really excited about all of the possibilities because of all the names I'm hearing get thrown around. Like there's some really cool stuff that can happen. And I want everybody to know that the host lineup is going to be absolutely fantastic. And we're going to come together a la the Power Rangers to bring you whatever we can that's entertaining. So make sure you're keeping an eye out for that. Also keep an eye out for me on Monday nights on USA. Monday Night Raw goes from 8 to 11. I'll be somewhere in that 3-hour block. I don't think I have anything else to plug. Oh, I do. The New Day podcast drops every Monday. Listen to it wherever you listen to your podcast. Just go to the search bar, type in The New Day, and click the pink picture with the 3 black guys' faces on it. That's us. It'll help out your boys. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Austin Creed Wins. I appreciate you.
All right, well, that's going to do it for us here. Hopefully you enjoy it. Check out more awesome Esports Awards content. And, of course, make sure you tune into the Esports Awards 2021, which, is going to be really exciting as well. Maybe, both of us will win awards again. Who knows?
Hey.
Why not, right?
Maybe a joint award.
Maybe a joint award, dude. Can you imagine? That'd be crazy.
Yes. Hey, also, can I say congratulations? Because I know this is far removed, but you crushed it on Titan Games.
Oh, thank you.
My God. You're like just incredible. It's funny, informative, like the whole package, dude.
Dude, I greatly appreciate it. It was a blast to be a part of. And of course, a huge shout out to the one and only Dwayne Johnson for making that happen. Amazing stuff. But all right, folks, that's going to do it for us. Thank you so much for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you next time.